I don't know what Becky's looking like.
Yo, look at this big ass screwdriver I made.
Oh, boy, he be on them drinks, boy. I'm telling you, he stay on them drinks.
It's only 6 his time.
Yeah, hey, there you go.
Facts. I'm just fucking exhausted. This week has been fucked up. I got booked for my wallet. They got me for my
Oh yeah, I saw that.
ID, all my credit cards.
Yeah, I saw that.
Everything. I got for everything. It was
He
fucked
got
No.
And that day that it happened, I was supposed to head out to the Bay to go to a friend's birthday party.
Oh,
Couldn't
for
even
real?
fucking make it.
What did they pickpocket you or did you lose it?
No, I probably lost it.
Oh, okay.
Damn, it's really been 3 weeks since we've been on, man. We've been on some bullshit.
Right.
3
You had
episodes have
but
passed.
It's because of the holidays. That's all.
Yeah, holidays and my Zoom was fucking up, but it's good to be back. It's good to be
I was
back.
like, yeah, we were totally good until your Zoom was starting to be an asshole.
Right. What happened in the last 2 episodes? I know I want to discuss the Amber elimination, and there was something else. Oh yeah, Kenny. Nothing to discuss there. Kenny seems like
But he's the most respected player, according to Nani,
I don't
that's
think so.
ever graced.
He seems like he's a
challenge.
good kid, like a decent person and all, but he brought absolutely fucking nothing, less than nothing to the show. And here's the bad thing. People who are like really good guys outside of like somebody like Leroy or somebody, they tend not to do well at these things. So, but Amber versus Nerese, first off, I did not want to see those two going against each other. That was terrible.
As fine as they are. No, you don't want to see
Yo, big
fine
facts.
versus fine. You know what I mean?
But Amber fucking comes through and wastes Nerese and pretty much pole wrestle. Love seeing that. Any of you guys' thoughts on that elimination?
Just insanity to see her, like, how did she even get the ball behind her back? Like, how did that happen? Like, I was looking at it going, where did she get to these positions? Like, I understand she's flexible, as they said so eloquently during her confessionals, that she's very flexible and movable, but I didn't realize she could, like, twist behind her back like that. But I gotta say, she did tire her out really well. Nerese was putting up a fight, but the second one, you could definitely tell they were both worn. They were done. But I gotta say that Amber's a beast. And I think that people really do underestimate her, and, take credit away from her, Robert, and her wins and what she does. Robert.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me clarify some things. Okay, you are doing good in the regular season. It counts when you get to the final. Can you seal the deal in the final? That's
and
what
she
I really
did seal the deal in the final.
Yeah, that's true. With a partner, okay.
And
but can she do it again with Chauncey? Can she do it with Chauncey? That's the question now, because that's what I'm.
She'll drag Chauncey's ass all the way through.
That's what I'm questioning now. Will she be able to get him over the hump if they get to that point? But I enjoyed the pole wrestle, in my opinion, because it was awesome to see a different pole. I think if it was guys, what?
You gotta say pause.
You paused me. What you pausing me for?
No. You have to say, if you say something, man, have you never been in New York? If you say something sus,
yeah, I've been in New York, but
pause. You gotta say pause afterwards.
I'm not from New York, Malik. You gotta understand. You gotta hit me to your language, okay? Your lingo, okay?
So anytime you mistakenly say something that could be deemed as sus, you gotta say pause afterwards.
Okay, pause. Becky, I'm gonna pause you for a second.
Because you said you was excited to see another poll. I was like,
I'm not. Don't even talk to me no more. Don't talk to me no more. I'm talking about women. I'm talking about no. Don't play with me right now.
I know what you meant. I know what you meant. That's why you just say pause.
No, do not play with me. Okay, so. But anyway, you done lost my train of thought, but I'm gonna leave it at that. I sustain from saying anything else because it's been taken out of context.
Got you. Amber is great. I'm glad she was able to show everybody just how tough she really is. And the fact that she is here to compete. She's not here to fuck around. I always disliked her treatment, so it was nice to see her go in there and kick ass. Let's go ahead and move on to today's episode. This is episode number 13.
Oh my goodness, we almost getting to the end.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit more than halfway. But before we jump into today's episode, I just wanted to let everybody know that I am now the top G now that Andrew Tate has been arrested.
Who?
What?
Andrew Tate. He's like some bald misogynist.
Oh no, I know who he is. I'm more. He got arrested. When? Where did I miss this?
Today.
Gee, what are you talking about?
And guess for what?
What?
Just guess.
Feeling on a woman.
Abuse. He was abusing on his women.
Yeah, but that's not the charge.
Feeling on a woman.
Sexual assault.
Worse.
Murder.
Child porn.
Human trafficking.
No fucking way. I actually believe that. So Andrew Tate is a man who went on a podcast and talked about how women are terrible. And basically, we need to go back to the way we were in the 1950s, where women catered to our men, and how we are no longer women. We want to be men, and blah, blah, blah. And just basically talking about all the stereotypical, misogynistic bullshit. Basically, it's calling women trash over and over again.
Somebody needed to knock.
So, full disclosure, I've never actually heard anything he said.
I've only ever seen stuff on TikTok. I try to stay away from that shit because it just makes me really pissed off.
TikTok?
Understandable. Are you not on TikTok?
No, I'm on TikTok, but I don't be on TikTok like this.
Anyway.
Well, see, I have the feminists, the women empowerment situation with my TikTokies. So, see, yes, that's how I ended up hearing about him, because he gets red. What?
So, moving on, I'm going to go ahead and bring in the episode. Today's episode...
Really?
Oh, wait. Time out. Let's run it back. It's been a couple of weeks. What's really good, pot stirrers? Welcome to another episode of Love, War, Challenges. I am MTV Malik. He is Robert Stewart Jr. She is Becky at Gift Master Bex. What's really good? Gang, 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 gang. Just a quick little recap of the top moments from episode 13 of the challenge, Ride or Dies. God, I fucking hate that name. But it is whatever. You know, they could have just called it fucking... really anything else.
Friendly acquaintances.
No, that don't
Ride or
Dies.
Like Ride or Dies is Spies, Lies, and Allies. Fucking worst names ever. Total Madness was actually a little bit better, but I would have much preferred the Battle for Independence.
That's what it's supposed to be called?
Yeah.
I don't know that.
On some of the commercials, it was still like coming up next on the challenge, Battle for Independence. And they changed it last minute to Total Madness, because I think that's like right when the Russia...
Oh, I thought you were talking about Ride or Dies. I was like, what do you mean?
Oh, no. Ride or Dies is pretty terrible. All right, so jumping into the episode, Amber returns victorious over her win over Queen Nerys. We did get a nice moment of Bananas giving Nani her flowers that she really believes that she deserves with all of her heart. God bless her. But let's go ahead and just jump into the phone call from the A Block, and that's going to be Nelson gives a call to Corey. Basically, he's there for, to hype Nelson up. And Corey gives him two pieces of advice. He tells him to make sure he knock out Bananas and get rid of Fessel. Now, Nelson reveals that Fessel is still in the game. Who are you going with this? Who are you going with in this advice? Do you think Corey's right that Bananas and Fessel needs to be knocked out for Nelson to be successful? Or do you think Nelson would be able we know how this episode ends, but and here's another thing. Because of this whole conversation, I knew how the elimination was going to play out. But let's just keep it on Fessel. Do you think Fessel is a good idea for Nelson to keep around? And is he more dangerous than Bananas?
No.
When you talk about a final, or are we talking about dailies?
We're talking about for Nelson's game.
Nelson's game.
Fessy. Fessy, I would keep Fessy in the game because he can't win. I'm going to be honest. He's at best third place. I've watched his performance for the past few seasons, especially the ones that he's not there yet completely. I don't know when he's gonna wake up, but sooner or later he's gonna figure it out. But I think Nelson will have a victory before he wins his first one. So that's my take on the whole ordeal.
Okay, and Becky.
I honestly think, game-wise, I think that keeping Bananas around will help keep Nelson around. I think Bananas is a little bit, in my opinion, I don't know, more trustworthy than Fessel. Or Fessy, or whatever he wants to call himself these days.
I believe it's Fessel.
I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. But Fessy.
That's how he pronounced it.
But I honestly think that Fessy has already stabbed Nelson in the back. I think he's stabbing his partner, his ride or die in the back right now. Over and over again, he proves to be untrustworthy as a partner, as even a friend, in my opinion, because you're going to lie to my face like that and just keep lying. You could just tell me the truth and be like, I'll protect you as far as I can, but I can't go too far. There's got to be a point where I have to work for me, but he's always worked for him. He will always be for Fessy, where I think Bananas is all about self-preservation. I think he learned that when he became public enemy number one, when he kept going home every season. I think now he understands he needs a solid people in the background, like a Nelson who's very loyal, like a Nani who's very loyal. So that's just my personal opinion.
So my take on that, and this is starting with Bananas. Bananas always knew that he had to keep a team around him to help protect him and, to aid him. The problem is he's the only one that still keeps showing up. A lot of the people who is his mains, his number ones, his solids, they're kind of gone. He's not as good as friends with a lot of the newer cast as he was in the old days. I mean, back in the day, you had JEK. And then he had, Leroy and Tony and Zach and all of these guys around, and most of them are gone. Yeah. So he really just has to make new friends. Fessel has made his bet. He's shown him to be unreliable and untrustworthy, and he's already burned you once. Even though Bananas is a little bit old, he still has the power to make friends, and he will probably do better for you during this season than Fessel would. But Fessel does win dailies, and that's important. That is such an overlooked aspect. Nelson has been having a great season, and he's winning some dailies, but can you imagine how much easier his seasons would have been if he won more dailies? So I would actually put more stock in with Bananas than Fessel. Both of them are going to be beasts in the final. Bananas is probably going to be more of a problem, but I'd be willing to roll the dice.
Fessel
Moving on to the
afterthought.
What happened?
I said Fessel is more of an afterthought when it gets to the final.
Well, yeah, but he's still a threat. He can still run, he can still climb, he's still strong as shit. And all reality, he just has to find the final that fits him. I mean, he does that. So we'll have to see. Come on, you can't knock it.
No, I'm knocking it because
it's going to be destined for greatness in this game.
I've experienced it, and I mean, regardless, I'm gonna be honest. I'd rather run a challenge final versus a sporting race. I'm gonna be honest, because some of the stuff that the challenge do is a lot easier than what you see in the sporting race. But that's not what I'm trying to prove. But Fessel, in my opinion, he's not there yet. I think it's gonna be a few more seasons where we're gonna see if he's made to get that first or second spot. He's not getting no first or second spot. I'm sorry.
So, pick up where we left off. We were heading to the daily. Today's daily is going to be called Chopper Drop. Basically, the challengers are flown in on a helicopter. They are dropped into targets, and they have to swim. Surprisingly, Team Underdog gets the win today. But let's go ahead and talk about some of our favorite moments from today's daily. I gotta say, I really like seeing Jordan come up with the idea of going back and getting the weaker swimmers and really helping them and pushing them forward. But I do think that the fact that they had less people actually really, really helped them this time around. And of course, Scuba Nelly spinning around in a circle because he got the wrong grip was absolutely fucking hilarious. But I also saw on Twitter, Johnny Bananas was saying there's no way that Jordan hit his fucking target. But that's me. What do you guys feel about today's daily? How did it go down? What are your likes? What are your dislikes? Anything you would change? Becky, kick it off.
It sounds like Bananas being bitter. Oh, that's new. Not really. But anyway, no, I did enjoy seeing like Horacio swimming like a little dolphin to rescue ladies and Jordan helping. And it was a really nice kind of team effort really going there. Now, mind you, the people who were on the platform, so having two less people, they were close. They shouldn't have taken that long to get to the platform. So it's not like they had as far to swim. So I don't think it had an advantage. In my case, I thought it would have I think it would be easier for them because they put their best swimmers out there and left their worst swimmers off, whereas as underdogs had no choice. All their swimmers had to be in the water. So, whether they were strong or not. So I was sad to see Olivia kind of struggling, but it was kind of nice to see Fessy go back and kind of tow her in, which was nice of him to do.
It was nice. I think it helped people see him in a slightly different light because we know him to be the snake and yada yada yada. And he's going.
He just wanted to win the daily. That I don't consider it to be anything other than he's like, my ass is on the line. Your ass needs to get to this platform. I will carry you there if I have to. That's all I saw. But I mean, it was nice. But I mean, two things can be true. I don't think he would have done it if he was a for sure win on any of this. 100%. I think he would have just let her struggle her way through it because if he felt like this was like they were going to win no matter what type of a situation. So that's just my opinion. It was funny to see Nelly spinning around in a circle because, of course, Nelson is going to be the one that fucks everything up, that just grabs it the wrong direction and just. It was funny, actually. I was trying to figure out why Jordan was holding it the way he was. I guess because of his hand, he couldn't get a good grip. But that was an interesting way he had to hold to make sure he didn't fall off of the thing too soon. So.
Oh, yeah, that's wild. All right, Robert, what's your take on today's daily?
I thought it was interesting. You had one team, which was the bigger team that you thought was going to dominate, but you saw a bunch of individuals versus the second team. Either got less people, they band together, they worked together, and they got off of the water. Because remember what he said? He said it was 2 seconds that separated them. So that was a huge advantage for Jordan's team because, I mean, I'm like 2 seconds. I mean, that means both of y'all were actually neck and neck. Had the Fessel team actually did something similar to Jordan team, they might have won by a second. So that's a huge plus right there.
Wait,
Nelson,
out. Jordan's team? I think it's Mariah's team.
Mariah's Jordan. It's Jordan's team.
Mariah.
It's Mariah, whatever. Okay.
Mariah has no idea what she's doing. That's not Mariah's team.
Right. You definitely know she don't know what she's doing. Mariah don't know what she's doing. She's still she rookie. She's a rookie, so she's showing her rookiness. If that's a word. But anyway, yes, Jordan, the way he came about, if it was vice versa, I think it would have been 1 second versus 2 seconds. So that's how close it was. That's how good the competition was. I was glad to see it. I'm glad to see what I'm not a water I don't know where my endurance would have been. I probably would have been dead after halfway through. And then I'd be like, can somebody please carry me through this water? Thank you. But anyway, so but yeah, it was I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this daily.
So, Team Mariah gets the W. Right after that, Bananas starts to read the room, and he knows that Fessel and Nelly T are going to save each other. So he makes a deal with Chauncey. So, hey, we're the odd people out. Those two are going to save each other if they're in the draw. Us save each other. And Chauncey jumps right on the deal.
Can I say that I just really quickly, I apologize. I'm going to backtrack really quickly. to team underdogs winning. The sheer fact of watching Fessy's team just be completely pissed off, like that they were watching people celebrate, like you could just see it all over Anissa's face, how mad she was and how bitter she was. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, y'all have been talking so much shit and
100%.
you lost, and now you over here crying in the corner, and I am happy to see it. I just wanted to say that out loud because
big
they
fact.
look bitter as fuck.
If I had to hear the word morale one more fucking time over these past 2 episodes, my head was going to explode. Their morale is so low, and you just tell that their morale is shattered, and the team has such a low morale. We're over here, we're winning, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. And
The word of the day.
their
morale.
numbers accounted for nothing in this situation. So Chauncey mixed it in with bananas, which was a really good, smart move. It's going to keep both of them safe. But the deliberations were interesting. So before they begin, Devin gets the wheels turning, sees how he wants to do things. And he just points out he wants to save Chauncey. This buys him some
Operation
points.
Save Chauncey.
Yes, I loved everything about that because it was 100% right. He was just like, it's in all of their best interest to keep Chauncey in the game, and it buys him some points with Amber. And Amber yucked that shit up. She loved it too because it was all about saving her man. And can I just say, Chauncey and Amber are so fucking cute. I love their whole goddamn relationship. They're just so goddamn cute. Love it, love it, love it. And I'm glad that Chauncey is being saved, even though I think we need to see a little bit more of his personality shine during this game. I'd love to see him take more of a assertive role. He's kind of playing the cut, following Amber's lead, not really doing too much on his own, except for that whole thing with Jordan. You see how that turned out. Wasn't great, but I would love to see more of him. Nani instantly offers up Nelson. She give a fuck about Nelson. And Horacio is backing that up because Nelson has put him in countless times. Let's go ahead and get to the interrogation. Chauncey comes up. He doesn't give up anything. Even though it looks like he's going to be favored in this thing, he doesn't give up anybody. In all reality, neither does Nelson. But I love the fact about how brave he was. He wasn't scared. I'm not saying nobody's name. I'm ready for whatever. Good to go. The 2 interesting things that went down are definitely going to be between Bananas and Fessel. Bananas come in. He instantly, flaunts that, hey, I'm with Mariah. I'm with Nani. None of you guys are going to be my vote. And you guys need to be paying attention to Fessy. And then Fessy comes in. He says, hey, Mariah's my ride or die. But he doesn't give up a name. Who do you think out of those 2, who I think were the highest to probably be picked, how do you think those guys play their deliberation?
Well, let's be honest. Johnny is practiced. He knows what to do with these situations. He's been in them over and over again, where it's both worked in his favor and has also, been to his detriment. So he kind of knows how to play this game, especially politically. So the fact that and even Mariah has said it, that she feels more confident and comfortable with Johnny than she does Fessy. It's just, it is what it is because of how Fessy has been acting. I mean, in all honesty, at why he would think that she would have his back after everything he's already put her through is kind of hilarious. Not my partner, not my problem, right, Fessy? But at the end of the day, I think that Johnny played this perfectly. I think he played it very Johnny-like, and I think he knows that he's safe at this point. And I love it. I actually really enjoyed watching it.
Yes,
Johnny shows
played great.
Johnny shows why he's one of the greatest of all time. Clearly, because honestly, you've won 7 of these things. Why are you still in the game?
Time out.
What?
He's one of the greatest to play this game. He is the GOAT
of all time because of the facts.
One of.
Yeah.
He won 70s. He won 7 of these things. Don't interrupt me, okay?
You don't say Michael Jordan is one of the greatest basketball players ever.
Are you talking to me?
Wait a minute.
Or are you talking to Malik?
Let me finish talking. Can I please finish talking? Stop interrupting me
I will
so I
fall
can
back.
get this off my check, okay?
Oh,
So let's
wow.
get this right. You got 7 championships. No. Peep this. You are the GOAT of the game, and these fools are keeping him in the game. They keep playing this, oh, I feel safe with the Johnny. No, the goal is to win $1 million, and you're going to hand the man the check if you keep him in the game. He won. Look, his stats was even thrown out there to the house. They already know he done made about $1 million some dollars altogether in the game. Come on now, what's going on? You got to go so a new champion can be crowned. You cannot keep a man like this in the game, because that's why he's showing why he is one of the greatest of all time. Simple as that. But, can he get himself to the end? Because if he gets himself to the end, he's got a high percentage chance of winning this whole thing. So they can keep playing fire with fire, but when the dust is settled, if he's still in this game, they most likely going to lose the $1 million.
Okay. So, after the deliberations are done, Mariah is going to back up Fessa. It's her ride or die. She doesn't want to be that disloyal, even though I'm pretty sure she's ready to wash her hands completely of him. I mean, she got bananas in the bag, which means she's going to get invited back for more seasons. She doesn't need Fessu for anything else at this point. Jordan makes the pitch for Fessu versus Nelson. Is that the right pitch? Because on the top of my head, I'm thinking Fessu versus Bananas. These are outside of Jordan and kind of weird to say Devin too. Fessu and Bananas are going to be your 2 biggest obstacles in the final. Wouldn't you want to get at least one of them gone?
This is what I call the challenge withdrawal for Nelson, because you've made deals in the past that actually burnt some bridges that's going to get him thrown into the elimination, because of past moves that he made in the game is what's the reason why he is in challenge withdrawal time.
I mean, let's just be honest. Johnny has made more friendships, and that just works in his favor. Nelly has burned a lot of people, and a lot of people are mad, and they want him gone. And he's having a really amazing season. So I could see him being, if he makes it to a final, he'll be a detriment. I just think that the biggest issue with Nelson is he's never made it to the end. Like he's made it to the end a couple times, but not enough to be able to, I think if he was in some of these recent finals, I think he would have made it through. Because his endurance, his strength. The only problem he has terrible problem solving, and I never remember him being very good at math either. But I just think puzzles would always be his detriment. But I don't know. I think this was Nelly's season, but I think he burned too many bridges to think that it wasn't going to come back and bite him in the ass. So I knew he was going to, I felt like Nelson was going to be the vote in the minute it was there, because he was an available one that would make the least waves. That's a strong, all their men are strong though. That's the thing. They have strong
at this point
male
of the
team.
game, at this point of the game, everybody's strong. All the fat has been trimmed at this point. So here comes the most interesting part of the day. Fessu tries to turn Jordan. Sits him down, says he wants this, yada, yada, yada. Jordan flat out just says, I won't say your name. All good, right? All good. Now Jordan's on a bike, doing what people on a bike does, yada, yada, yada. Tori comes up to him. Now,
Stupid.
Initially going into this, I didn't even think it was that big of a deal, but basically she comes up, she's like, hey, there's word going around that you might be a swing vote. And she says something along the lines, was like, if you were to do that, that would affect our relationship outside of the game. Now, I wasn't actually even paying too much attention to this moment. Is that the same gist that you guys got?
Yes.
Right. But at the time that was said, I didn't think it was really that big of a fucking deal. I just thought she was trying to put emphasis. You did. Really?
I saw it.
Yeah, but
I saw it in his face. I saw the reaction that he had. And the thing is this. And someone like Jordan, you don't try to push him into a corner or make him do something that at the end, and he said it over and over again. He's like, I have done things where I've kept my word and I've gotten screwed over it, i.e. free agents when he flipped over all the cards and still went into elimination to get sent home because he said that's what he was going to do. Jordan has been as much as I hate him as a person, he has never backed out of his word. When he says he's going to do it, he does it. She tried to manipulate him and push him. And it is what it is. Tori, you do not have the pull, especially after you've been cussing him out every other day, probably because of his relationship with Nerys, to think that he's going to be okay with you saying, we're not going to be friends if you don't do what I tell you to do, which is basically what she said. And I don't know any person out there, male or female, who's going to be like, oh, okay, word? Bet. That's the first thing that bet. Let's not be friends because maybe I've been trying to burn this bridge because apparently this friendship doesn't mean very much to you if you think that this game is enough to destroy it. Especially someone who have been engaged, especially people who say that they still love each other and blah, 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 blah. No, don't try and use it at all. And the fact that I don't know. Sorry, you made a stupid move. Never try and do that to anybody.
So just to jump in real quick, I want to give a big shout out to my homie, Julian. Julian put up a post of like people like bugging out on like some Spirit employees at the airport, and this post got 1.8 million views. He's on Twitter at we don't know 36, and so you put up this post, 1.8 million views. Congratulations, he truly got himself a viral tweet. And so right after the tweet starts going viral, a couple 100,000, 500,000, he jumps back into the tweet, says, hey, I don't have anything to plug, but on this show, The Challenge, there's a guy named Jordan on there. And then he reposts his tweet, his takedown tweet. Oh my God. I was fucking dying when I saw that. And I was just like, yo, Julian has always been a real one. Big shout out to Julian. Only want the best for you. Has me fucking dying. And right now that shit has 1.8 million fucking views. And instead of just doing this plug or talking some bullshit, he said, hey, since you're all here, this Jordan guy's an asshole.
I am not surprised.
Tell MTV, tell Bunham and Murray, get this guy the fuck up out of here. You gotta love the fucking dedication, man. Just when I start thinking, I'm like, hey, you know what? Maybe Jordan is turning around. Maybe he's not so bad guy. Maybe I've been wilding out on him too much. Here comes Julian to remind me, nope, fuck him. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Big
he's
shout
still
out
a piece of trash.
Oh man, he brought it all the way back home for me.
But let me also tell you about the plug that Jordan did during his away home call.
No, I skipped over that for a reason.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Completely skipped over that.
Okay.
And I skipped over the call to his friend in the Ukraine because it's so fucking performative, and I can see right through it. I can see right, and this is the shit that keeps me from actually turning the corner on him. It is such fucking bullshit. Hey, I'm a new person. I'm changed. I'm helping people in the Ukraine. Yada, yada, yada. And not to mention my own personal fucking feelings of that whole thing. Granted, the people of Ukraine didn't do anything wrong. It's a war. Not even trying to get into all of that. It's not our war. But not even to get into all that. This whole phone call shit, this is the Jordan rehabilitation tour, and it all smells like a bunch of fucking bullshit. And I don't like it.
Scripted as fuck. He wrote that shit out and memorized it.
Fuck that. You're over in fucking Argentina or Venezuela, whatever fucking country they're in right now, and your one call is to the guy in the Ukraine. We don't believe you. You need more people, and you can't just force feed us this kind of bullshit. We know better. We know better.
I'm not gonna get all into the Jordan talk for real because y'all got to meet them for yourselves. I mean, that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Okay. Okay. So this whole Jordan call to his friend in the Ukraine, it doesn't smell funny to you?
I didn't buy into it because he did work in Ukraine. You know what I mean? Knowing Jordan, I see
he did some work in the Ukraine, and he made sure as many cameras as possible picked him up doing it. It's like the people who's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go around. I'm gonna get some cash for homeless," and they got a fucking camera crew with them. Make sure y'all catch me being good.
It's not. Depending on who the person is. I'm not gonna get into
the person
the
is
whole. Okay, Jordan. Okay, so
the guy who's rehabilitating his image.
Me personally, I think he's cool. I forgive all. One-on-one.
You do know he don't like your black ass, right?
I've had numerous conversations with him. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say this. I've had conversations with him. Sat down, talked to him for a long period of time. I'm kid you not, one-on-one. This is not no make-believe or whatnot. You have to stop and get to know that person. Okay. Whatever you see and think, yes, he's made mistakes. We all make mistakes.
No. I get that. And I'm always willing to leave the door open that I can always change my mind. But I need to go on Instagram real quick because I need to see if he put up a black square on his Instagram real quick. I just want to see.
I'm mad that my computer is out. That's what I'm mad about.
Did Jordan put up a black square
for
Black Lives Matter?
Like I said before, you can be a character on TV. You can boost up your personality on TV. You don't have to be misogynist and you don't have to be racist. You can have a personality on TV. You can be somebody that everybody loves to hate. Just don't be a racist. And
yeah, he put up a black square.
Yeah, of course he did. You think he did? It's when he started.
Text the number. The systemic discrimination against people of color will end here. Please join me in Act Color of Change, testing public officials to take action. Do this and demand action. And guess who's the first two fucking comments I see on here? Georgia Harrison and D. Nguyen.
Yeah.
And the first one I see what to click on is Miss Natasha Marie goes, boy, bye. And another person, I hear you're a Trump supporter. Is that true? Bye forever, you racist, misogynist ass. Somebody says, give this man a hand. I don't know if they're just trying to be funny or not.
They're trying to be an asshole, yeah.
Somebody said, you're about to lose your job, racist spirit. Okay, so it's not just me. It's not just me. But you know what? 131 weeks ago, Jordan put a all-black picture on his Instagram profile. He has cured racism. Thank you, Jordan fucking Weissly. See, my man's mad because he had a whole conversation with Jordan, and 30 seconds after he got up and left, Jordan was like, fucking nigga.
That's funny. Yeah,
I'm just joking. I'm just playing.
I'm not taking no offense to that. Trust me.
I'm just playing.
He was waiting for it. Let's just be honest. Robert knows.
Jordan looks like in a real low voice to call people a negroid. So, moving on to today's elimination. We get down to the votes. And Jordan decides to shake things up. He said, I'm a man of my word, and I always stand on that. If somebody says something today that made me feel some kind of way, and that is, I'm going back on my word, and I'm voting in Fessel. And he blames a fucking Tory for it. And then he hit us with the, I do not negotiate with terrorists. And naturally, she gets defensive, and it turns to a whole thing. Whose side are you taking? And this Jordan versus Tory fucking shenanigans.
I was dead. I was like, he's not going to say it. He's not going to say it, is he? And I was like, he won't. And he literally says, I will not negotiate with terrorists. I was like, who the do you think you are?
And sure enough, everybody brought up the fucking chilling with ISIS line that Tori said. They're like, look, she is a terrorist. And that has been funny to see online. But also, I didn't think it was that serious for Jordan to really take this approach. Like,
I think Jordan decided that if he's going to go petty, he's going to go uber petty. And that's exactly what happened. Now, mind you, I'm on neither of their sides because I refuse to say that I'm fully on Jordan's side. And I refuse to say that I'm fully on Tori's side because I dislike both of them equally at the end of the day. But I think that who's more right, I understand why he did it. And I think it's because he just felt like, oh, you're wanting to leverage this. I'm about to explode it. Let me just blow this shit all the way up so that everybody knows what you're doing. Her side, I also get it because, yeah, don't put all the blame on her. Because at the end of the day, you still made promises to other people. I just wanted to confirm the thing that she said is that she should never have said that this is going to affect us outside of the game. Period. That's never should have been said. Even if it was insinuated, it should never have been something you said to him at all. Because I think that was just waving the cape at a bull. He was ready. He needed an excuse. That's what it is. He needed an excuse to fuck her over. He needed an excuse to make her look bad. In the end of the day, he kind of made himself look bad too, because again, he went against his word, but the bold brazenness is a very, very Jordan, and the very I don't give a fuck is very, very Jordan.
Robert?
I didn't take sides. They are here for my entertainment purposes. But if I have to say,
really,
yes, they are here for my entertainment purposes as well. But Tori should not have said anything during the elimination process. She should have let it play out. Then she should have brought it back to the house and brought it to his attention. Now, here's where the conflict comes in. Jordan never said a name. Okay. If she paid attention, even though she already knew that he was talking about her, she didn't have to blow it up right there and then.
And you could tell by the way she was staring at him. It was like, yeah, that was you.
Nobody would have known, but Tori let the cat out the bag and said it was me. Okay, so your dumb ass gonna say that. No, you don't do that. You let your opponent sit there thinking, okay, you said this, so we're gonna hash this out at the house. I need to talk to you. I would have pulled them to the side. I would have said, how the hell are you going to call me out like that after what I said to try to save you? And then go into your little speech about, oh, I had talked him into not throwing you in at this point of the game. Woo-to-woo, woo-to-woo. Fine and dandy. But she made a big mistake. I think it's all going to blow up in their faces. So at some point, I think Jordan and Anissa going to be voted out. Tori and Devin are going to be thrown into elimination, whether they come out or Tori may get thrown into elimination at some point. So I don't know. We'll see. Stay tuned.
So this is that fake, manufactured, melodramatic, over-the-board drama that I come to fucking hate about these past couple of seasons of the challenge. This whole shit was fucking just so overblown and unnecessary. Both of them could just shut the fuck up. None of it was even necessary. None of it is really pushing the game forward because, let's be serious, most likely whoever you're putting Fessel against at this point, he's going to fucking eat alive. Cut the fucking dramatics out. Like, what was the point of going in there and purposely embarrassing your ex? Like, should she have said it? No. She could have just sat down and shut the fuck up, which would have been fine. But did he have to? He didn't. He made a mountain out of a molehill, and it was unnecessary. And the fact that somebody who you were engaged to, you would go this much out of your way to embarrass them on TV, tells me everything I need to know about the guy. That's who he is. But when we get down to the votes, Jordan votes Fessel, Amber, Nelson. Easy to see why. Devin, Fessel, Nani, Nelson, Horacio, Fessel. Mariah doesn't want to make it a tie because she doesn't want to put her team in danger. Burns it on Chauncey, and Fessel told Mariah not to vote in Nelson. And now Fessel feel some kind of way. Fair or not fair? Should Fessel feel some kind of way about Mariah burning her vote?
I mean,
No.
Go ahead.
No, because of the fact that she's been your ride or die number one. She's been riding with you and you haven't been riding for her. Number two, don't be surprised that she did it because she is a rookie and she said that she was following your advice. Do not say.
Is it me? Or does this move have Banana's fingerprints all the fuck over?
Got to. It's got to be.
I just feel his fingerprints somewhere on this, and I'll just play
because he tapping that woman. So, but yes, she did what he told her not to do, and that was don't say Nelson's name. So he shouldn't have to feel no way, So
okay,
end of the discussion.
Becky,
I mean, she didn't say his name. I mean, that's
she didn't.
That was her only promise to him. I will never say your name. Now, no, I don't understand why he would think she would tie up the votes, because every single time we've ever seen anybody tie up a vote, it's always come down to you either vote or you get thrown in. So Mariah is actually well versed in how this will work out, that she knows that it'll end up screwing over her team. So she did what was best for her team without breaking her word on either of the points. So I think it was a sneaky, and I do see Banana's hands or his influence in that, because even when he confronts her later, so I didn't say your name. I didn't say Nelson's name. That's all I promised. And I still had to protect the guys on my team because I wasn't going to have this bite me in my ass. So Fessy should. I understand why Fessy feels some kind of way, because he's a big baby and he will always feel some kind of way. He will never see what he's done that has caused this. Had he been a better partner, a better ride or die, or even just a friend, maybe she wouldn't have done a little kind of thing and she just would have thrown her vote on Nell. I mean, I would have just thrown it on Nelly and just been like, this, I can't say his name and this is the way the votes are going. Sorry, Nelson.
Yes. She would have been a little bit better saying that on the floor. She's like, well, even though it looks like my ride or die is going in today, he told me, do not vote for Nelson. And of course, I would never say his name. So I'm forced to burn the vote. Her inaction is an action. Her not participating is participating in him getting thrown down. Does he have a right to feel some kind of way? Absolutely. But let's be serious. If he does feel some kind of way, it kind of makes him a bitch. You know you can't tie it up. You know her hands are tied. And in reality, if they had to go back and re-vote, everybody would just vote you in. So maybe shut the fuck up. Now, we get down to the draw. Chauncey pulls a safe dagger and Chauncey keeps his word and saves bananas. And now we have a Nelson versus Fessel rematch. I feel bad. I feel bad for Nelly. I feel bad, but also it could have been avoided. You could have taken a shot at Fessel earlier in the game, and it probably would have led to you having more power and completely avoiding this situation. Could have took a shot, you didn't. And not to mention, if you took a shot at Fessel, Fessel's whole fucking power base is pretty much gone. Because then the only thing he got is the other girl, Casey.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wallpaper. Yes.
Yeah, that's it. So, the name of this elimination is going to be called Spearheaded. Basically, it's not so fast. With 9 spears, you got to untangle them. The tangling isn't too much, but you got to untangle them and drop these 9 spears in, but you got to break the spears through drywall. Now, unfortunately for Nelly, Fessel takes the lead and never gives it up. To me, it was nice to see Nelly never give up and work hard. You know, he wanted to stay. He did to the best of his ability. It was kind of disgusting to see Fessel do this with such ease. and you know, it wasn't really that close. It was closer than we would like, but it wasn't even that close. What was your guys' take on today's elimination? Anything excite you? Anything you didn't like? Likes, dislikes?
Not really. Nelly's endurance is not there. I think the next time we see him, I think his endurance will be there. That's why he pretty much lost. I believe if his endurance was up, I believe he would have probably won, or it would have been a title race. And you are right. Fessel never did give up the lead because I was watching the way he was performing. Yes, Nelly did do to his best ability. But that showed me that his endurance is not there yet. So that's why he was sent home. So next time we see him, I expect a different story. So if you are getting thrown in, you stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
All right. That's going to wrap up the elimination. Fessel walks into a pretty nice win. But also, because Nurys is also out and now Nelson is also out, they are completely removed from the game. That is the episode. In your guys' opinion, let's go ahead and give the episode a rating, 1 to 5 stars. 5 being the best, 1 being the worst. Becky, go first. What do you rate today's episode?
A 3.5. Mostly because I was really excited about seeing Team Underdog win. I did enjoy the daily. I think the daily was fun, and I think it really kind of showed differences in the teams and also in the different team aspects. So I really enjoy that. So I'm glad. It was a good feeling to watch in my opinion, the right team win. I hate over boisterous, not humble people, and I just feel like Fessy's entire team is just like that. But anyway, the daily was good. The elimination, though sad, I was glad that, we got a rematch, and it was different than a hall brawl, and I think Nelson had a really good chance, but just everything just didn't work out for him, which I am sad for. Hopefully he'll get his win soon. He needs it. I think he's really put in a lot of work. And like Robert says, hopefully he'll work on his endurance. Maybe that'll help out. I don't know. He needs a little bit more gains. But yeah, 3.5. Plus the drama was kind of funny with her calling him like, be a man. This is not my fault.
And Robert, what do you give today's episode?
Same thing, 3.5. It was interesting with the movement and everything. Drama was lackadaisical until towards the end, with Tori going a little overboard with her comments. She could have kept that to the end. I mean, not to the end, to the next day. But other than that, 3.5. Not elimination. The daily was good. So it's about 3.5.
You're both wrong. 2 stars. The daily was good.
I know he was going to say that.
The daily was good. The drama was bullshit, manufactured. They telegraphed Nelson going home. I hated the whole Jordan making the call to the Ukraine thing. The elimination was garbage. The Tory versus Jordan thing was kind of fun to watch. But overall, wasn't a big fan. 2 stars. And all reality, I'm quite over today's episode. It wasn't that great. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Unless, Becky, are we missing anything?
No, not really. I haven't seen anything really interesting other than, I guess, a few discussions about,
Jenna had her baby.
Oh, yeah, Jenna did have her baby just recently. It is a baby girl.
And Colleen is pregnant. Not that I'm sorry, Collie is pregnant.
Who?
Old school Collie. Yeah.
I don't know who that is. I'd have to look it up.
She was on like the island or some shit. But anyway, that's going to do it for us. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter at LWC Podcast. Follow us on Facebook and TikTok at Love Word Challenges. Cop your official Love Word Challenges gear at shop.lwcpodcast.com. Make sure you get all your customizable challenge gear at shopthechallenge.com. Make sure you listen to Love Word Challenges podcast on Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, your favorite podcast app. Sorry we've been gone for too long, but we should be riding strong to the end of the season. We miss you guys. We love you guys. Thank you all so much for listening. And once again, another big shout out to Julian. Make sure you guys give him a follow at We Don't Know 36. That's going to do it for us. Once again, I am MTV Malik. She is Becky at Giftmaster Bex. We have no idea where the fuck Rob went. That's going to do it for us. Have a good night. 1.